Good morning, guys. It's Naveen joining the call. Can you guys hear me? Could you please type in the chat window? Thank you, Rahul. And just give me one moment here. Okay. So let's see where we are. So while others are tuning in, just go ahead and log in, Rahul. We'll continue with you.
Okay.
Once you sign in, go ahead and share your screen, Rahul. We'll
Yeah.
have a quick review.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So we are doing on the node one now, so maybe we need to log in into that.
Yeah.
Currently, we are doing Docker.
Yes, that is right. Let's start with Docker. Close it. Don't keep it too long. Okay. Make sure you change your passwords later, Rahul.
Okay.
If possible, change them.
Okay.
Okay. And I think you need to get into the root, Rahul. Pardon me. Let's go ahead and review the history, please. Once admin. Yes, we stopped the image. And let's say, can you explain what is line number 294, please?
Yeah, we are running this web app container and as a root on the and exposing on this port 8080.
Okay, short answer. Port mapping.
Yeah.
Container port to the host port. Okay.
Yeah.
And can you get into the directory my web app for a moment? Let's say let's do the cat of Docker file. And what is the left hand side and the right hand side called?
These are the
So short and sweet, left hand side is the instructions, right hand side is the okay.
Okay.
What does copy do?
Copy used to it will copy all file to OPT source code from current directory.
Good one. And let's see, what is entry point doing?
Yeah, it is. It will run the Flask application inside that container.
Good answer. As simple as that. It is the point where the application is getting started. Could you scroll up a little bit, please? What is the difference between image and container?
Image is a kind of skeleton. It is static, but when we run that image, it becomes container. The running instance of that image is a container.
Good one. Okay, that's a very good one. What does build dot do?
Build dot. Okay. So build dot. It will. Yeah, it will create image using that Docker file which we are creating.
Very good. Scroll up, please. Pardon me. Keep going. And a little bit up. LTR, Docker run, Jenkins home. I think that's where we were yesterday. Okay, that's okay. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see a few more commands and see what we have. Okay, we'll also talk a little bit about the Docker compose and things like that. So what we've been looking at is single Docker file, but many times we run into situations where we may need to run a much more complex app. And that's what we'll try to look and understand today, okay? Let's say, yeah, let me give you this one. Can you do a PWD?
Sorry?
Oh, present working directory.
PWD.
Yeah. You're in the root, and can you list the web app files? You have CAD the Docker file for a moment inside that. Pardon me. Okay. So copy the app.py entry point. Okay, can you CAD the app.py? So here, we're just printing out Rahul and we're just printing out I'm good, but nothing much complex. We're not connecting to any database or anything like that, okay?
Yes.
It's a much more simple app. We need to look at a much more. Let's say Docker run web app. Give it a moment. Full access denied for web app repository does not exist. Okay. That's because it is actually pulling from the Docker is what it is. But let's say you have look at the images, please. List the images. Docker peer, what is it? Images.
Docker images.
Yeah. So we have my web app. Can you quickly run my web app? Docker run my web app. Okay. So this is the server. And bring up your black terminal and just try to perform a quick test on the two methods or the functions inside it.
Should I do curl from that?
Pardon me?
Should I do curl from this VM?
You'll need to get into the, you can, you curl, not curl buddy.
Okay.
See, what did we do yesterday? It's a URL. Yeah, you can do curl because it's a REST API, right?
Yes.
You have to do the curl without, okay, because you
Yes.
Good one. And just say /overview, curl /overview on that one. So it looks like we're good. So that is up. So now let's see. Let's go ahead and run, go back to the blue screen and run Docker run MongoDB.
Maybe I need to kill from there.
Yeah, please kill it.
Docker run. What is MongoDB?
Yeah, MongoDB, MongoDB. It's a NoSQL database.
Enter.
Yeah. And let's see, MongoDB latest error response. Full access is denied. Repository does not exist. Docker run help. Strange. Try running Docker run Redis :alpine. Docker run Redis REDIS :alpine ALPINE. So MongoDB, maybe they have changed it. We need to look into that. Is it stuck or is it waiting, Rahul?
Should I stop this something? Yeah, it is stuck. Like nothing is happening. Have to continue.
Oops. Run it again, please. Give me one moment. Let me look up Docker run on MongoDB. Docker run. Network. Strange. Mongo is the name you want to assign. Tag is the tag specifying the MongoDB version. I see. So here you are. Strange. And just see if there is any change in Redis also. One moment, please, while you're looking at that. How to deploy. See if there's any change here. Redis seems to be good. Docker run Redis is good. So where you are. Oh, what's happening here? In the black terminal, are you logged into the same node one, Rahul?
Yes, sir.
Go into that one and just say Docker run Mongo. Yeah, enter it. There you go. So it's MongoDB. Okay. And come back to the blue one. Terminate it and just say Redis. Docker run Redis, not Redis Alpine. Redis. Yeah. Next, if it helps, we should have cleared it. So it's going to be Docker run Redis Mongo. It's just going to be Mongo. Background save. Or commit memory. Can you check the background also, please? Black terminal. Fail to register the date. No space left. That is the problem, I think. We need to free up. Look at the images. Let's remove some of the images. Okay, except my web app, let's remove all the other ones, Rahul. Maybe copy multiple image IDs and try to say RMI space image ID 1 space image ID 2. And I think the first 4 letters also is enough. Just try a couple of them. Press enter. If this works, we can remove the remaining. Okay, now remove the remaining. We'll just keep the my web app. Pardon me. You cannot remove a running container. Stop. You can probably say it also. Okay. Must be force. Do you need to, have you stopped it?
I should delete all this code. Redis and Ubuntu.
You still have ready? Yeah, yes, please delete.
This Ubuntu is conflicting because maybe we are using this inside another image. This Redis image is, I'm not able to this Redis. And this Ubuntu image is it is saying that it is used in another image. Hello.
Okay, sorry about that, Rahul. Can you make me the host, please? I had a power cut
Yes.
here,
Yes.
so the cutoff. Sorry about that. See, okay. So I think you can clear the Ubuntu image also, please.
Yeah, this Ubuntu image, I'm not able to delete because it is showing like it is used in another image.
All right. Okay.
Unable to delete. Should I force delete this also?
Which one? Force delete. Yeah, try. Give it a try if it can.
Still
Okay, that's
not.
okay. So let's just say Docker run Ansible. Full access denied. Repository does not exist. Interesting. Ansible is also changed. One moment, please. Let me see. Where is that? Hmm. One moment, Rahul. I'm seeing if they have an Ansible container here. Ansible Docker. I'm looking in the ansible.com, but strange. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and just do a little bit of playing around. Go ahead and create a new file called d-c docker-compose.yml. Just say vi docker-compose.yml. And let's see, for now, I will orchestration is Ansible. Let me give these things to you so that you can copy them. Putting it in the chat window. Here we go. Try putting these things. I think we can remove the orchestration, but let's give it a try. Okay, save it and say docker-compose space up. UP. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a feel of it. Actually, this is how we run our Docker compose file. What we try to do is we'll try to install a much more complex app and try to play around with that. Okay.
Okay.
And let's see. We'll have to install. Okay, let's see. I will go ahead and send this to you one more time. Giving you the Redis. Please run that. Yeah, I've sent you in the chat window.
It is a Docker run or it is a D run?
Yeah. Sorry, Docker run. Sorry. -D.
-V.
Name is Redis and space Redis. Name equals to Redis.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next one, bring up the same thing. Change the name to DB, name equals to DB. Name equals to DB, and the image name will be Postgres, POSTGRES.
Is it correct?
Yeah.
Enter.
Yes, yes. So that should be giving you the Postgres. But let's see, the next one is voting app. I think we'll need to download the voting app. Let me see, where is this one? And say co-control home. Complex app. I think it is in Docker samples, but try to find the URL for them. Okay, let me give you this one. This is Docker Compose. And the result app. Okay. Can you just type in github.com/Docker samples? Oh, no. In your browser, github.com/Docker samples. Docker samples. SAMPLES. SAM. SAM.
Okay.
Yeah. And scroll down, example voting app. Click on the example voting app, please.
Sample voting.
So we have health checks, we have Kubernetes, result is here, what is here, worker is here, seat is there. Okay. So what we'll do, copy the URL. Copy the URL, github.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back to terminal. Type in git space clone space and paste the URL. Space clone space paste the URL.
Okay.
Yeah. And just to say lsltr. So there is a example voting app. And let's say change directory cd into the directory. And let's say lsltr, is there something called vote here? So lsltr. Okay, so the last four, seed data, result, worker, and vote are going to be the separate applications, and they are going to be, we'll try to dig into the architecture and things like that in a moment, and we'll try to install the Docker containers for them. Okay, so let's say CD, get into the vote directory, POT, that is going to be the intent or the UI. CD into the vote directory, and yeah, cat the Docker file. Okay, let's scroll up. So let's say from Python 3.9 slim, so in other words, that's the slim version of the Python with minimal libraries required. Then they're performing an apt get update, should be pretty straightforward for us to understand. apt get install, no install recommends. Okay, no additional recommendations. It looks like they're removing some of the existing directories in the list under var. Then the working directory is going to be the app, and the copy requirements.txt. So there is a requirements file here. We'll look at that. Then they're doing a run pip install requirements.txt that generally contains all the dependencies of the Python and any other packages which are related to the Python. Copy dot dot expose 80 make 40 80 available for links and publish. Okay. And command cmd is something like entry point. So here G unicorn app, this is nothing but a web server. They are bringing it up. There also looks like they're giving a switch for keep alive and log file, a slightly full-fledged app and things like that. They have 4 workers here. We'll try to understand these aspects in a moment. But before, just do an ls again one more time. Requirements, okay, cat the requirements.txt. Okay, so it looks like they need Flask, they need Redis and G Unicorn. Okay, this application will need Flask and Unicorn and Redis. Okay, can you cat the app.py? And let's just scroll up here. Import OS socket. Get invis. They're getting some cats and dogs is there. Environment variables, they're enabling the logging, get Redis. So Redis, if you notice the function get Redis is where the action is happening. If not has attribute Redis, g.redis equal to Redis. They're creating an object of Redis below, a little bit below, Rahul, in the function get underscore Redis, highlight get underscore Redis.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is where they are creating and connecting to a Redis database. It's an in-memory database. So this application is going to be connecting to an in-memory database. In other words, this is a Python front end which is connecting to Redis database is what it is. Then below we have a hello function. Request.cookies get voter ID. Okay, so that is just checking for some cookie. Get random bits. So I think that is we don't exactly need to understand every line here or every the logic here, but I'm just trying to read out so that you get a high level understanding. Request.cookies is just getting checking for some cookie. They're checking for a post. They're extracting the vote. JSON.dumps. And scroll down, please. Then they're setting the cookie. And this is the root. Scroll up a little bit, please, on top of hello. Okay, this is the root. So if you take a look at route is slash. So in order to access this hello, if we type in the URL and say slash, the port number and slash, we are going to trigger this one. This is going to connect to the Redis database is what is the idea. Okay.
Yes.
Container port, right, or node port? Container port can be, I think the container port is being exposed, Shubham, to the Docker host. But we'll try to test that in a moment, okay? So that is the story of the app.py. My idea is I'm just giving a rough idea, but ideally you don't need to worry about the complete thing there. So now, one more time, let's do a PWD. Okay, and we are in the vote and do an ls. Okay, so the most important thing is the Docker file, followed by the app.py. Requirements.txt, I will force you to remember, it is a file that Docker will look into to download any additional dependencies to download is what it is. So instead of giving these things manually in a Docker file, we can actually plug them into requirements.txt. And that is, of course, created by Python freeze, but I'll see if there is if we come across that one. So just say Docker builds space dot.
So this application is only creating one front end and connecting it to Redis, right? Or it is doing anything extra?
No, nothing extra. It will only connect to the Redis database, and we'll see what performs in that. Docker space build space dot space hyphen T,
hyphen
T for Tom, tag, space voting hyphen app. We'll call that voting app.
in
So we're going to build the image, enter. The name of it is voting app. Pardon me, sorry about that. Warning is okay. Okay. Just check the images. And let's say we have a voting app. That is what we just created. And that is 15 seconds ago. Okay. How come you still have the Redis and the Python? Oh, I'm sorry. We just created that, right? Redis, Python.
right. Yes.
Okay. Then what we'll do is, let's go ahead and run doc, verify the containers, please. PS-A. So we have a Docker entry point 10 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago, that is Redis and the Postgres. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Then run docker run -p 5000:80 space voting app with 5000:80 space voting app. Okay, let's run it. We do have a Redis already. We've already run Redis. Okay, so that is why it seems to be up and running. Just stop the stop this one. Let's remove the Redis for a moment and rerun this one, Rahul.
Okay.
There's one error I need to show you. Docker. We'll also remove the Postgres also.
So I should remove this Redis one and Postgres one. Okay. First I need to stop this. Yeah.
Both of them are removed. Okay.
Yes.
Now try to run the voting app. Listening to the port 80, starting G Unicom. You removed the container. Did you remove the image?
No, sir. Should I remove?
Actually, I think removing the container should do it, but I'm expecting one error. It's not popping up. That is important for you to understand. But let's say, okay. Now what we'll do is, you look at the public IP of this one. Bring up the public, look up the public IP. Bring up the port 80, copy that one. open a new window and colon 18. Yeah. Apache 2. Colon 18. It's going to, this is showing as the Apache web server. I think we may have installed Apache 2 yesterday, right?
Yes.
Let's check.
We are exposing it on the port 5000, no, but
Yeah, my bad. So internally, its containers port is 5000, but externally, it's mapped to the host 80, Rahul.
okay. Means this is internal, this is external.
Yeah.
Yeah, but inside that Docker file, we are exposing it to 80.
Right. 5000 colon 80. It's same as that one.
Okay.
How about so let's open it on any other port. Stop this one and can you try to uninstall the Apache 2? Let's see, for sake of simplicity. Stop this one. Try to uninstall the Apache 2. You can also run the Ansible if that is more simple.
How to remove that Apache?
What is that one? State equals to absent. So say Ansible, and let me just see one moment. Okay, Ansible. Let's say web node 1 is I think web. Okay, Ansible web -m.
I'm actually in this node 1. It will work from here, or I need to log into that controller.
Okay, yeah, because web is configured there.
Yeah.
I think if we cannot do local host, I think here, because we will need to again configure the SDK. Sorry, the key here. So yeah, just log into the controller, please.
Okay.
Okay. Now just say Ansible web -.
Should I switch to Ant admin or?
Yes, please switch to Ansible. Yeah, we have the host file here. Good one. Good that you recall that.
Ansible.
Ansible space web -m for Mary module space yum space -a within double quotes name equals to Apache 2 state equals to absent space state equals to absent and space come out of the quote and just say come out of the quote space -b. We'll have Ansible do it. Yeah. Have you verified? Can you just scroll? Okay. This is the controller, right? Or is it the IP address of the node 1?
This is maybe the IP address of the node 1. Yeah, it is we have done on this node one.
We have uninstalled on node 1, but when you
Yes,
are
yes.
on the browser, have you accessed the controller or the node 1, the public IP?
The public IP is for this node one. Apache is still running.
Your control FI? Control refresh. Control F5. There
Yeah.
you go. Okay. Oops, what is that? You put a .com. You have a www in the beginning.
Still running.
And let's say, just say colon 8080.
Yes. I'm pressing numbers.
Colon 80. Sure, you're pressing numbers down already.
Maybe I have pressed some button. I'm pressing the numbers, but the symbols are coming.
Oh, that is strange.
Oh yeah. 8080.
8080 is not there. No access 80. Take a shortcut, go back to the Docker file, and let's change that to maybe, oh, we'll need to add that again if we have to. And we do have the security configured in node 1, right? The security group and the port open, right?
Yes.
We do. So I guess we'll add another port number. We'll change this to maybe 81.
Okay.
Stop
Should I
this one.
stop this?
Stop this one, go back to the Docker file. Expose 81, change that to 81. Okay. Save it. Let's click home. Make sure you removed that one, right? Just do a cat. You plugged in a colon W query.
Okay, okay, sorry, sorry. Actually, whenever I'm pressing this escape button, now this zoom scroll bar is coming. Yes, sir.
Okay. Verified, okay. And now we'll just go ahead and bring it up high from Docker run command with a port number mapped to 81. Port mapping
5000
to 81.
voting.
And I think we'll also need to add that in the security group, isn't it, Rahul?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
Five thousand is up, used up, 8080 is used up. Okay. Now try bringing it up. And listening at 80. Why is it listening at 80? Oh, no.
Because here there is a
Oh. The Geo Unicorn is configured at 80. Could that be the voting app? Command G Unicorn. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Let's see, back here, bring up the browser one more time. Okay, now try accessing that URL :81. Execute a moment. Site can be reached. Okay, change it to 80, please. Let's Apache change it to 8,000.
5,000.
8,000 is also Apache 2.
No, nothing.
One moment, let it run. Okay, try 5,000. It's probably the earlier containers, so probably these, we may have deleted them. Okay, let's see, what does that leave me with? Back here. So how about this one? Back to your blue terminal. And this is where the app is still running, and app.py. Go back to the black terminal and try to do a curl onto port 81. And we can probably give the private IP address or the public IP. And 72. And :81 / failed to connect, port 81, connection refused. Tried 5,000. 5,000 is internal, so I don't expect that. Okay. Or back up here. Strange. Something very actually there is some change from last time I ran it. The example voting app. It's one thing I'm observing, but give me one moment here. Do one thing, Rahul. It's 11:15 roughly. Take maybe 5 to 10 minute break. Let me just look into this one, and
Okay.
let's come back, please.
Okay.
Stop the share. Okay. Rahul, are you back, buddy?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's say we'll give one last try, Rahul. If it doesn't work, we will look into this one. Can you go back to the Amazon, the browser instances? Choose any other node other than this one. You can check maybe node 2.
Yes. Should I log into this?
Yeah. Yeah. You can stop this one. 5080. This is the G unicorn.
I should,
Can you check and see if Docker is installed here? Just type in Docker. Okay. By any chance, do you still have the Docker install Docker script with you?
yes, yes.
Can you increase the size of the text a little bit? Maybe set it to 18.
Should I change any background? It is already.
I think you set it to 16, struggling a little bit.
Okay.
That's, yeah. I think you may need to also be a root, right, before running this. Chmod. Chmod. Okay.
Yeah. Give me.
Is it done? Okay, good. Now what we'll do is we'll redo from this the git clone. Let me see if I can find it for you. So here we go.
So, should I clone the
Pardon me?
same link which I have cloned previously?
Yeah. Do a git clone of this. I think I still have the link in the chat window. And app.py, one more time, verify the Docker file. Looks like it's port 80, but still, let's see, just type in Apache. Enter. So, okay, maybe Apache, try Apache 2, please. Sorry about that. Okay, that's okay. So we definitely don't have Apache. I don't know if it's the G Unicorn, the port 80. So we say G Unicorn app. That's actually that one. So now, what did you do? Can you do a history, please? So Apache, you just cat the dog. Okay, so we just okay now. Have you looked at the? Can you cat the Docker file one more time? Docker file, capital D. And expose port 80, command, copy, run, install. Okay, looks good. Now let's go ahead and build it. You are in the current directory, board directory, right? Yeah, okay, go ahead. Docker build space dot space -t for tag space voting -app. You can give any name, but we'll keep it consistent. Voting -app. Yeah. Tagged voting AP latest. Okay, successfully built. Okay, verify the images, please. Verify the containers also. Yes, no containers are running. Okay, that's a good one. Now let's say, let's bring up the voting app, docker run -p 5000:80 space voting -app. Okay. Yeah, enter. So it's still not giving the error. So now, so it's listening it. So G Unicorn looks like it's up and running. So now go back and bring it up. If I figure out the public IP. Two. There you go. So Nginx, and that is Nginx, which is G Unicorn. See, and you have typed :80, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, just be sure. Can you type it one more time? Coming to the Nginx page. Actually, we should ideally go back to the, let me see, go back to the app.py, do a cat on app.py. No, open another terminal. Don't stop this one. Sorry about that.
From should I do this from this inside this VM? So first we need to connect to that.
Yeah. And directly change. This time give a I think 18 is better, but 16 I think my eyes are struggling. Thank you. I think you need to go to the example voting app or something like that. Okay, here the app.py. I just want to see the function it is mapped to. Cat the app.py, please. And scroll up, please. Port is 80 is okay. The route is hello. Hello is where it is internally getting the Redis request equals to post. And do one thing. Can you go back to the browser window and 80 for slash, put a forward slash, colon 80 forward slash, colon 80. Is it coming to the same thing?
Yes.
Then in that case, go back to this one, app.py and vi app.py. Yeah. Yes. And let's say where you have app.route is equal to slash, change that slash to slash hello. Just add a hello after that slash. So at the rate app.route on top of hello, just add a hello there. Okay, write and quit. And stop the container again. Go back to the previous window. Stop this one. And we will build it first. So we modified the source code. Whenever the source is modified, we need to go ahead and rebuild it.
Tag same or different?
Same. And hold on. Just verify the images before this one and just delete the image if it is already there, just to be on safe side. Really delete the voting app. I just okay. Now verify the images one more time for sake of discipline. Okay. Now build it. Sorry about that. and verify the containers. Still have nothing. Okay, now run this container or run this image.
Both same or different?
Yes. Now go back to the browser, refresh it. Put a /hello, :80/hello. It says it, go back to the terminal window. Let's see, it should have given us some information here. Booting PID. 5,000 is mapped to 80. Did we add the security room, add room, security group?
Yeah, the security group is same for all the services. It is already there. Yeah, it is
There.
80, I think. This is node 50.
Okay. It's actually a slightly simple one, but
Should I try 5,000 or something?
pardon me?
Should I try 5,000?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you, Rahul.
Yeah, should I try this 5,000 port?
Okay, give it a try. As long as it works. I don't think that will come up. 5,000 will not. Map, yeah, /hello. That will not come up.
Yeah.
That is strange. Okay, goodness gracious. Strange. Why is it picking up at, even though we have done the port mapping to 80? I don't know why it's.
Yeah, maybe this port 80 is the internal port and 5,000 is external port.
Nobody. Okay, maybe that could be because earlier we were using the same port numbers.
Yes.
Left hand side, I thought it is but generally on the left hand side, okay, Docker IP, and maybe the 80 is the child IP. Okay, maybe you could be right, but as long as it works, that is what we want. Now, what you do is, okay, that's a good thought. Go back to the browser, click on cats, notice error, and now come back to terminal. So if you notice here, let's see, somewhere it should be giving us an error. Apple WebKit and things like that. It's not giving it. Okay. I thought it'll tell it here. And so in other words, what is happening is back to the browser. Okay. So this application is actually trying to do a back on this one. Back to the click on back. Hello. Hello. When you click on this one. Okay. How about this one? Actually, this application, when you click on cats or dogs, what it needs to do is it's a voting app where you're voting whether it is a cat or a dog. It's like, imagine in a data analytics world and things like that, some users are being asked and shown an image and they're being entered whether it's something as a cat or a dog. And that's what this application is. They're looking at an image and they're guessing, hey, this is a cat, this is a dog, and things like that. So at this point, ideally, what needs to happen is it needs to take our vote and needs to save it into the database, and the database is the Redis database. So now what is happening is we do not have the Redis database running here.
Right.
What we need to do is we need to run the Redis database, and we also need to link up. We need to tell our application that, hey, this is your Redis database, that link needs to be done. Okay, so back to terminal. Okay, you can stop this one. Now we'll bring up the Redis app, and before we bring up the Redis app, we don't have any Redis image here, do we?
No.
Okay, then okay, verify any containers are running. Okay, G-Unicorn app is running. So exited. It's exited. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and Docker run -d catch -name equals Redis. -name, buddy. NAME.
Yeah.
Name. Don't put the space there. Space. Yeah. Run it, please. Enter. Verify the images. Okay, so we have Redis. Okay, then let's see. Now what we'll do is we'll try to link we need to link this one. So go back to the browser and just refresh on that or app. It should go away because we stopped the container. Just verifying that. And now come back to terminal and bring up the Docker run -p 5080.
Mm.
5080, and this time say -link after 80 -link space Redis : Redis. Redis : no, so you already have voting app, so that should be good. So now run it. Okay, now back to the browser. Refresh. Click on it. URL requested. I'm thinking, I'll do one thing, buddy, Rahul. Go back to terminal and we have actually added that hello, right?
Yes.
Stop this one. Hello, because I think there will be another change which needs to be done. Vi app.py and remove the hello. Just keep it the root, which is just remove the hello, buddy. At app. Okay. Save it, quit it, build it again.
First, we need to delete that image which is already there. First, should I remove this image?
You can only remove the voting app. You don't need to remove the Redis.
Yeah.
Okay, check the containers. Okay, it's happening. So the container is still running and the Redis container is still running. Okay, and now so Shubham, I think we should be okay, buddy, because we'll relink our new container. So now go ahead and build the voting app one more time. Just bring up your previous command. Builds space dot T for voting app. So ideally, if you're conceptually looking at this, what is happening is imagine you're a developer every time you're making a code change and you're rebuilding your container and things like that. And then your container is a package of all dependencies and things like that, if you're getting an idea, Rahul.
So we are not editing the code. We are doing some offset linking.
You generally don't edit the code unless you're a developer, buddy. Your developers will actually edit the code. They will modify the code. They will build the container and they will give the container. What we will do is we will build the tools around orchestrating these things. Just to have a low level idea, here we are modifying the code and things like that so that you have a better idea. Every time they give.
Yeah. So if we are not using this container, so we need to change the code to connect to Redis, right?
If you're not using the container.
Yeah, we are not using this containerization, and we are running this app, and we need to use that Redis. So we need to edit the code to connect to that Redis, right?
Strange. No. Actually, what is happening here is the application is running on one container, Redis is running in another container. Okay. So now what we do is when we give the hyphen link, the containers are able to communicate with each other.
Okay.
Because we have given a name called Redis, the Docker, within the voting app is able to network with the Redis container internally and is able to communicate with it. That is what is catching it, buddy.
Yes. So yeah. So if we tell if we use this hyphen link, so we can connect any container.
True. Generally, the database and the NoSQL database, memory databases, we link them up like this. Okay.
Okay.
So Docker allows internal networking communication. I'll talk about that in a bit, or maybe tomorrow. Let's just try out this one. So we just build the image. Let's go ahead and run. If you just do a history, I think that you can just bring up the previous command, buddy. I think it is 146. Sorry, 46.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now back to the browser. Click on cats. Have you clicked?
Yes. Just showing.
Okay. Click on dogs. Do a few more clicks on cats. Okay. And okay. Okay, that should be good. So in other words, when you're clicking on cats and dogs, if you recall, we got the error message earlier. Now we're not getting the error message. Catching it, right?
Yes, it is showing this tick here.
Good. Which means it has saved successfully to the Redis database or whatever database it is internally.
Yes, yes.
Is what it is. Okay. So now, let's say we also need to imagine a group of users come here and they click on the cats and the dogs and things like that. And then you want to see how many at the end of the day, somebody wants to see how many of them are cats versus dogs and things like that. That is going to be the next step. So here, the cats and the dogs is a Python app. And behind the scenes, what will happen is we will use a Node.js or other kinds of apps. And that's what we'll try to do. Okay.
Okay.
So, let me come back here. Okay, so back to the terminal, you can, back to terminal, you can stop that one. Stop that, the white one. And now I think, go back to the parent folder, example voting app. And I think there is a folder called worker. Is there something called worker? Worker, yeah. Going to worker. Let's see what are all the files, LTR. And this is a .NET application. This is, I think, a .NET thing. Let's see. Start with the Docker file, cat the Docker file. Okay. So if you look here, from Microsoft as builder. So in other words, they seem to be downloading the Microsoft.NET Core SDK in the first step. The first step, Rahul.
Yeah.
Where they have the from instruction, then followed by they have the worker BIR, where they're saying, hey, under /worker is going to be the worker directory, and CS proj is a C# project. They're copying it from source. All the source files are there. Then they say run.NET restore. So .NET restore is probably what is maybe building the file. Compiling and things like that, but we can verify that. Then we are copying the source worker to dot. Then we are publish and release. Yeah, publish and release where it's actually getting built and released to a folder called /out. And from Microsoft runtime, so they're downloading the Microsoft.NET runtime 3.1. There are a few things I'm sure and I know what they're doing, but few things I don't know, which is okay. For us, ideally, we don't need to worry. These should generally be taken care of at a slightly developer level only, buddy. Okay. Then worker directory is again app directory entry point.NET worker.dll. So when you actually build this worker project, a DLL file is getting compiled and built in .NET. And the entry point is .NET means I think they have a class called .NET, which we'll have a quick look in a moment, where which is going to be run. I think it's going to be run as a background and a separate thread and things like that behind the scenes. That is what that step. Then copy from builder, and you have /out dot. That I don't know. They're just copying some file. It's probably like a copy module and things like that. So now do an LSLTR one more time. LSLTR. So just go into the source directory and list the files. And then I think it is the worker, go into the worker directory, list it. Program.cs, just cat on program.cs. It's just a straight console app, like a console app. Okay, so if you scroll up a little bit, there's a lot of database code going on. So right here, so notice they're importing some Redis using means import like in Python. So they are stack exchange.redis and things like that, some Redis related stuff. Then over here, notice the where they have a try, they have something like OpenDB connection. So notice server is DB. In other words, they're connecting to a server. Redis is an in-memory database, and this is going to be a Postgres database. If you look at username is Postgres, password is also Postgres, the server name is DB. So ideally what we need to do is, we need to also set up another container for database. In other words, one container is for the Python app, another container is for the Redis in-memory app. One container is going to be for this worker app where there is going to be a .NET app running. Another container is going to be for the Postgres, which we, I think, earlier downloaded. Are you with me so far, Rahul?
Yes, yes.
So I'm probably going into a slightly complex scenario here, guys. Or all others doing okay? Surabhi, Nitesh, Aniket, Moin, are you with me? Can you give me a quick yes, please? And let's see. Shrishel, Himera, are you able to follow me? Can you give me a quick yes, please? Okay, so just keep me posted. So scroll up a little bit. We'll just go over this one. There are a few points I will explain you. So what I'm trying to convey is this worker application is connecting to this database, this Postgres database. That is what is happening in that line is what it is. Then it is also connecting to the Open Redis. So this is where notice that Redis. What is that? That is when we created a database, a container for Redis, which contains a Redis database inside it. That is what that Redis. The name is given here. So the server name D equals to DB on the top refers to Postgres. Redis refers to a Redis database is what it is. Data is getting stored in Redis, but what if we want to update the Redis image? Then all the, that's where you mount it, Aniket. If you have a container, you can mount the data to other databases and things like that. -v is the volume, -v is the switch. or the option for you to mount it to separate things. Would be my short answer. I will have to look a little bit more detail and see if Redis would be anything different. Catching it, Aniket. So ideally Redis is here. We have a Redis is running inside a container, but we can actually, the Redis will be routed in a way where it's actually on your Amazon AWS and things like that. So even if your container goes lost, the data ideally would not be lost and things like that. That's a slightly, that's generally how it would be. So even if your container gets lost, you're not losing. You can mount the volume onto the AWS S3 or other clouds so that it's never lost is what it is, short and sweet, okay? But keep alive, okay, next keep alive is okay, we don't need to worry. Scroll down a little bit. And this is where all the C# code where they're checking to see if the connection is open, they're getting the database, then they're kind of doing a convert to a JSON. Scroll down, please. These are all some threading related stuff. We don't need to worry. Execute non-query. And again, PSQL server equals to DB. So this is where update what. So they are doing an update what here. They're opening the DB connection. So whenever somebody clicks on something, the worker thread is going to be taking the data from Redis database and it is going to be saving to the Postgres database is what is happening. Okay, scroll down a little bit, please. Open DB connection. This is just opening. Further down, scroll down. And I think connection, open Redis connection. So this is where they have written the Redis database logic. So they're getting the IP and get IP and console.writeline connection will be connect to that IP address. And I think get IP. Here is the IP. Let us see DNS.get host entry. I think they're going to get the IP address here. And update what, if you notice, is nothing but an SQL command, insert into votes and things like that. This is where the insertion is happening. But what is that IP? That IP is probably result.address list.first. I think that is the IP address of the Postgres database, according to my understanding. Because when they get IP, they're going to insert that into Redis is what generally temporarily save. If you want to permanently save what this guy is, so here is another answer, Aniket. Redis, they are temporarily saving for faster performance. Generally, what the UIs do is the front end guys. When somebody enters the data, they temporarily save it in the temporary database like Redis, and behind the scenes they are spawning or they're starting a new thread like a worker, where from this Redis database they're accessing it and they're permanently saving into the Postgres database. Now, if you remove all the containers, the Postgres database will have all the data. So we don't even have to mount the volume if we just follow this process. This is a pretty good architecture, if you ask me. You're deep. Go ahead.
Yeah, so but Postgres is also running on the container, so we need to mount volume there.
What is it, buddy?
This Postgres database is also running inside the container, right?
Okay. I see what you mean. The Postgres, yeah, you're right. We can mount it on. Generally, yeah. So generally, the database containers are not really relaunched and removed and deleted that often. It is only the applications containers which are modified and deleted because a lot of source code changes happen. Whereas these things are products which are generally not modified. So you have a good point where you're saying, but that will happen only if you're upgrading to a new version of a database, or if your database totally got messed up and things like that, you will try to bring down your container of your database or in-memory database and things like that. Catching it, Rahul?
Yes.
Okay. Application is where a lot of business tools are plugged in. That's where on a daily basis, a lot of requirements change. So those applications containers get relaunched again and again. They do a rolling update and things like that and so on, which we'll try to talk in the coming updates, guys. Aniket, is that making sense, buddy? So ideally, what I'm trying to convey is the data is getting saved into Postgres, and that's where the data is preserved and so on. Okay, scroll down a little bit. Let's see if there's anything else. So that is updating. That is just doing an insert. So all it does is it takes an ID. When you say what, it's taking an ID. It is saving it to a database. It seems to be what is logic. Is what it is. Okay. So now what we'll try to do is, we are in the worker app. We will build another container. We'll build the image for the worker. Let's say. So verify the images, please. Rahul, can you verify? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have voting app is up and running, Redis is up and running. Now what we'll do is we'll build a worker app, docker build .-t, say worker app, worker-app, and we are in the worker folder. Small thing to be kept in mind. -t. After dot, give a -t. Okay, run it. So if you don't give the -t, you're not giving a name to it. And such, where are you? You do have the Docker file, right? No such file.
No, we are in the search. Maybe there is.
Oh, sorry. Go back to the parent folder, worker, the small w. The moment we are saying build, it is going ahead and looking for the Docker file. That is what is happening.
Yeah, here is the Docker.
Bring up that one. Okay. So Postgres will take a little bit of memory.
So here we are running how many containers? Like 2 for database, Redis and Postgres.
Totally, we will run, after this one, we will run another container for Node.js to show the result also. That will be roughly around 5 containers, Rahul. So it looks like it's downloading the Microsoft runtime. Okay, verify the images. So we have a worker app, which was created 8 seconds ago. Then we have an MB none. Oh, sorry, that is that one. Okay, we have a none, which was 15 seconds ago. Voting app is ours, Redis is ours, Python is ours, Microsoft runtime is the previous one. Okay. Okay, that should be good enough. The 3.1 is runtime. Now we'll try to run the worker app. Type in docker run. We'll link both the Redis and the DB this time. Run --link Redis : Redis. Redis --link. Again, space --link. DB : DB. Space worker -app. That is the name we have given, right? And let's see, one moment before you run this one, let's say.
But we don't have any DB container running, right?
Sorry. Haven't we run the Postgres?
No. We have run only Redis.
Yeah. First, we need to run the Postgres. So just backspace this one. Okay. Just say docker run -d -name equals to DB. So that will be the DB container. -d -name equals to DB. And space Postgres : 9.4 we'll use. Slightly stable version. 9.4. Press enter. So
9.4.0.
That's it. 9.4.
Okay. Okay.
Verify the images. Make sure Postgres is there. Postgres worker app, but Postgres is the last one, I think. Okay. Okay. Now we'll try to link the worker app, which
Yeah, this was the one.
we've already built the worker app, so we don't need to build it. Here, copy that one. Okay, run it, please. Daemon cannot live to a non-running DB. Have we run after we have built we have run the.
Yeah, we have.
Just verify the containers. Docker PS. We have read.
No. That container is not running.
Ah.
But
Name equals to DB. And let's say the run should have actually run it. Was there any problem when you did a run on Postgres?
this was the output for this.
Status root, it looks like downloaded newer image. Digest. Postgres 9.4. Unable to find the image. Oh, okay. So in that case, just bring up the same thing, the Postgres thing. No. Yeah, just up to Postgres. Yeah. Don't give the version. Run it. Unable to find the image, Postgres latest. Can you just copy that, put in the chat window real quick? Let's see what the error message is. Why is it finding locally?
Yeah, it is.
What's up? Oh, it's already in use. You have to remove or rename that container. It's already in use, DB. So which means, yeah, remove that container, please. Just to be on safe side.
So
DB there.
so we need to remove it.
Okay. Now run the Postgres again. And okay, verify the PS. And let's see, why is the voting?
After running, it is not running like this. It is getting exited every time.
Try running the Postgres 9.4. Postgres colon 9.4. 9.4.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah, we are giving same name. That's one.
Oh, container. Okay, the container name is DB. If we modify the DB here, we'll have to modify the source code, and I don't want to touch the source code. So remove this container again. Container. Go ahead and remove the container and then remove the Postgres image also.
Actually, after running the container, this DB container, it is exiting the container. It is not running like this Redis one. Like it is up all the time, Redis, but this Postgres one is getting exited every time.
Yeah, got that point.
So, Doctor. So I should remove container and image both, right?
This is the latest and the 9.4. Okay. Both of delete both of them. So one more time, verify the containers. Created, exited, Gmail. Voting app is exited because I think we came out of the app, right? We were running it in the same window, I think, isn't it? Is that right?
Yes. Yes, we have run that voting app. Then we have stopped.
Okay. Now go ahead and run the worker 9.4, stress 9.4.
So should I run this one, Docker run link?
No, not that one. Line number 86. First, you bring up the DB container. You can say exclamation 86, that should execute it.
So
You bring up the container called DB, then you
yeah.
run the previous one. Run it.
So okay.
Unable to find 9.4 locally, so it is being okay. It's pulling it now, so which means it's downloading it, okay, which is good. No problem, right? Verify the images. And we did a run, so it should run the container also. Postgres 9.4 is there, good. Now verify the containers. Exited 20, okay, it says it's exited.
Yeah,
That should not be a problem. Why is it exiting? It's strange. Docker entry. Postgres exiting. Let me just see if I can find a quick solution. Postgres exiting. Immediately exits. Okay. Modifying the volume state. I'm just looking at one or two of them here. There, just 1 minute old. Sorry about that.
So should we take a 5-minute break?
Please. Yeah, sorry about that. Let me know if you're back, Rahul.
Yes.
Okay. Can you, we'll just try a couple of things, and if it doesn't, I will probably take it tomorrow. We'll move on to another topic. Just go ahead and one more time. No, I don't think we need to check it because it exited. Just say Docker container logs DB container space logs space DB. So database is uninitialized and supervisor password is not specified. You must specify Postgres password to set it in Docker. Oh, okay. So copy that. Yeah. Use -e to set it in Docker. Yeah, copy that whole thing. Good one. Paste it in my chat window also so that I have note of that also, please. Thank you. Thank you, Rahul. Now bring up the Docker run for the Postgres.
First we need to delete this one or create new.
No, it's okay. You leave that there.
Okay, Docker run
And
delete
-e
name
Postgres password. Name. Name equals to DB and -e.
post.
No. Before that one. So, -e Postgres _ password. And space. Okay, completed. Postgres, I think 9.4.
Enter.
Yes. It's already in use. Stop the container, remove the container, and try it again.
Okay.
And now verify.
Yeah, it is running.
Okay. So now I think we will also run the worker app. So we'll have to link up the work. That's going to be, we've already built the worker app, I think, right? The image.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think line number 79, I think.
Number 79.
Yeah. You can just execute exclamation 79. Type an exclamation 79. Run it. Enter. Except that one is waiting for the DB. And it's waiting for DB. Which means, I think somewhere here.
We need to pass password also.
As password, I'm thinking about stop it, Control-C. And let's see, go back into the source and the worker. CD source worker. List it. Go back into the program.cs. So we have given the username as a Postgres. And,
Okay, right here password is. We have passed this password as a password.
oh, okay. So in that case, if you modify the source code, we'll probably need to rebuild it, because generally we don't modify the source code at this level. We'll go ahead and stop that. We'll change the password there and rerun it. But
Okay.
So go back to the parent folder. Okay, now what we'll do, stop the container, remove the container.
The database one.
Yeah. Remove container. And now maybe you can bring up the history command, copy that one and just change the password to Postgres rather than password. Postgres and script password. University GRES. Yeah, run it now. Verify. Very good. Now bring up the worker app. Okay. So connected to the DB, it is processing the vote. I think what is happening is the number of clicks you clicked right earlier have been picked up from this database. They've been saved now, and it is not picking up all those things and it is saving back to the Postgres database.
So this data was there in that Redis container.
True, true. Catching it, buddy?
Yes.
So the next thing is we need to look at the results. For that, we need to bring up another Node.js application. For that, what we'll do is we are now running the worker app. So we'll need to keep it running. We'll also need to open another terminal for Node.js.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now go back to example one level high and list it. We are looking at result. We need to go into the result folder. And it looks like this is also .NET. I thought this was Node.js. I think maybe they changed it. I'll start with the Docker file, cat it. And scroll up, please. So it starts with Node, from Node 10 Slims. Okay, that is a Node.js app. And they're getting an apt get update. Okay, that's okay. So it has, each container has its own containers, updates, and things like that. Then if you come down, environment, tiny version, okay, is okay. Then they have something called tiny, add whatever that file is, tiny file, then they're executable, I think. Then the work.dir, run npm install -g node mon, so that is the node related stuff, npm ci, cache clean, all this is the node related stuff. Environment port is 80, expose 80, scroll down, that's it. So they are going to trigger the tiny executable file, and it looks like some server.js is also being done. So in other words, that's a server side. Node.js is a server side scripting thing, guys. Okay.
Yeah, this is Node.js application.
Yeah. So now that is the, no, I don't think we need to, let me see, just list it one more time. Somewhere here, lsltr, Dockerfile, Node.js, and server.js. Just cat the server.js, because this is going to be pulling the data from Postgres database and putting it back into displaying the results is what it is. So express require, scroll down, look for a username or a password for Postgres. One second, connection string is Postgres : Postgres @DB. Very good. It's so that is connection string. It's already set up. Okay, I think we should be okay. And okay, scroll down, please. This is all the asynchronous scripting going on here. Okay, we don't need to worry about these things. It'll just okay. So now what we'll do, we'll go back to the worker or result app. You're already there, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and build it. CD. I'm sorry. Docker build dot hyphen t hyphen result. Yeah. So sending the build context to Docker daemon. Okay. Installing the Node.js here. Okay. So verify the images.
Yeah, result app.
Very good. Now let's say run it docker run hyphen p. We need to link it to the DB. So docker run hyphen p 5001:80.
5,000.
5001:80.
5,001.
Yes. :8. And hyphen link db::db. db::db. Space result hyphen app. Okay, run it. So app running connected to the DB. Now what we'll do is go back to the browser and open a new window. In here, type in the IP address, copy it from the previous window.
Maybe we need to open that port also because 5,001 is not open.
Yeah, open it, please. So why are we getting cats 100% and dogs 0%? We are getting cats 100% and 0% means earlier you did not, we did go back to the terminal where you have the Postgres thing. Go back to terminal.
Okay.
I think the white terminal. So if you hear A, B, A is probably cat. So roughly 3 A's, 3 B's, that should be 50% and 50%. And I'll go back to this terminal of the result app. And let's see what is happening. We opened it, they're not logging anything here. Open another terminal to the same server. Just look at the logs of the Node.js. Okay. And let's say Docker container logs and
Docker container.
Docker container, logs, result hyphen app.
Container.
Look for the containers. PS. So result hyphen app. What's the problem? 3 minutes. It's up 3 minutes. Okay. It is there, no?
Yes, it is there. No such container result.
So logs.
Should I enter this ID of the ID of the
Yeah, give it a try, please. Deprecated and provide extended option. Oh, there you go. It's actually logging it. That's what it is. Use individual JSON. So these are the logs running on port 80. So that's all. Okay, whatever we're saying there. Okay, bring up the, go back to that example voting directory and start the voting app also. We'll try a few more clicks.
voting app?
Right here. No. Right here.
Okay.
Because we have 3 terminals running multiple things. And yeah, right there. Now you should run the voting app. Run the voting app. No, not Docker file. Docker run.
Yeah. Okay.
The hyphen D.
The hyphen D. Okay.
Hyphen D hyphen what was the port we were running on earlier? 5000.
We were running 5,000.
Colon 80. And hyphen equals to. I'll link it here. Link it to Redis colon Redis. Voting hyphen app. Okay. Good. Now go back to the browser. Let's try a few more clicks. This 5001. No. Go back to the previous window. Keep this window open. Previous tab. Yeah. Now open this. Refresh it. And
This one. Sorry.
okay. Two 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Now click on cats. Go to the terminal. Verify something is tailed there. Go to the terminal. Just to go to the terminal. Yeah. So tailing is going on, right?
Yes.
This is the Redis.
This one is
This is DB worker app.
Worker app. Yeah.
We'll look at the other terminal just to see. We just clicked.
Yeah. This is one. This one is the result app, and this one is the.
Yeah.
This one is the voting app.
It is not really. It's just tailing it, but not really saying, "Hey, he clicked on anything." So now go back to the result app. Other
Yeah.
the browser app. In the browser, this.
Okay. Browser.
Here also it says received vote B, received vote B. It is logging here also. If you just look at the third, yeah, that one. Notice they're saying received vote B, received info. Wherever there's an info, this is 2 verbose here. Mozilla, all that is 2 verbose. With this probably a way we can switch out that one. But are you catching there is something called received vote A, received vote B? Are you able to read that? Wherever it's in the middle, there is an info. Cool, is still struggling. So take a look at 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, received vote. Yeah, it said received vote for B.
Yeah.
Vote for B.
So definitely our thing is getting picked up here. Now go back to result app in browser. And let's say refresh this. Cats is 100%, dogs is 0%, which means strange. What is this? What did we miss here? My bad. I think, let's see, there is one step. We have given the username and the password of the database, but I think we have not set up the table. Let me see, somewhere we need to set up the table. Worker request. Go back to seeds. I think go back to the previous tab, which is tab buddy tab. Yeah, here by 5,000, after that 5,000 port number, say slash, and I think you need to go back to the terminal again one more time. Go back to the terminal. I need to look at the thing which will set up that one. That's a process thing which will set up the table. So if you scroll up a little bit, give me the root directory. If we stop this one, what will okay, well, stop the go to the terminal, the where you have the result voting app running, please.
Yeah.
Which is the stop this one. Okay, now go back to example voting app. Oh, we'll need to run it again. Okay. LTR. There is something called seed data. Go into that folder, seed data. This is where the data is being set up. We missed this step. And list it. So generate votes.sh cat. First cat the make data.py. So scroll up. Let's say what we have. Import URL post B. Post B. That's vote post B. Open the file. Vote is B. Post A. I think this is just a sample what they are putting. And what is the other file? Next one is generate underscore votes to cat the generate votes.sh. And cat the generate votes.sh is just a shell script post / vote. This is / seed data. Then cat the docker file, please. Working directory / seed. So that is what I was looking for. When you say / seed, what it is doing is it is actually run python make data.py. Scroll up a little bit. Let's have a look at make data.py. And this is where URL lib, URL and quote, post A, vote A, dictionary they're passing. There was a little bit more going on. Scroll down. Pardon me. So work directory is / seed. So now go back, bring up the voting app one more time. Bring up the, sorry about that. You need to go into the voting. Okay. Just bring up the previous run command. Docker run -p 5018. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, run it. Verify it. Go to the browser. Okay, refresh it. Okay, now after 5,000, say slash, type in seed, SCED. Yeah, enter. And let's give it a moment. The requested URL, check here.
Because that container is not running, na, that field.
No. The seed is not a separate container. Seed is just another file. When you access this URL, what happens is it is creating the table in the 5,000. This is seed data. Do you have the terminal open still?
Yes.
Okay, go back to
3 terminals. Yeah.
yeah, that one. That. And we open the voting app here. We are saving it to the Redis database. So scroll up, please. Scroll up further. That's where you have the cat weight here. So we are running the seed generate votes. Apache 2 util vote directory /seed. Make data.py is not doing much. Somewhere need to generate. One moment. Try this one. Seed. Okay. Okay. So in other words, go back to the result app. This is the result app terminal. Now go to the browser, please. Result app. And refresh one more time. Okay, so what's happening here is the problem we are facing is we have our containers and apps are all running properly, but there seems to be a disconnect somewhere. This needs to read the data from our database, which is Postgres, and show the results. But for some reason, there is some disconnect happening. Are you catching the point?
Yes. Yes.
So from a deployment standpoint, we have deployed everything, but why our program is not connecting to the database and not getting ideally that we can dig into the database, or we can actually dig into the Node.js script and try to look at the script. Back to the terminal, Node.js terminal. One last time. I think it is the black one. This is the Redis terminal. This is between, and if you scroll up here, where we did a cat on their source code, let's see if we still have it here. So this is where they should be getting directory name views index.html. So somewhere in the code, they're getting select vote counter 4. This is not working. Let's say that is Postgres. Postgres. That is what our username and password is. Looks like the connection string is okay, but they are not fetching the data. Now, I mean, I can also say this is a code. This is a code problem. This is not a deployment problem.
Yes.
Are you catching the thing?
Yes.
So ideally, we can refer it to a developer, and this is where it seems to be a code problem. It's not a deployment problem, is what we can say. And now what he might do is he might actually connect to the database separately from his own SQL tools, and to see if the data is saved from Redis to this one. Or it could be possible from Redis itself, it's not populated into the Postgres, but it looked like from Redis it populated. So it could be a problem between the worker app did not populate it properly, or the Node.js is not picking up the data. But again, that is the kind of problem we might face. And we need ideally the developer to look into this one. We cannot look into this one because at a deployment perspective, you cannot expect everybody to have an idea of Node.js, .NET, and Python and things like that.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is where we will work with the developer. They will say, hey, it looks like, when I work from here, it's working, it's not working here. Again, we run into the Devops. So they will ideally fix this. We can deploy this. We can on a staging server or a prod backup server, whatever containers we have done here, we can put that onto another server and have them look into those servers explicitly so that they don't mess with the production servers or any other containers and things like that. Catching the point, Rahul?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So those are the things we will see. So today what we have done is all these steps we have run manually. Ideally, we can put all these things together in a Docker compose and run at one time. That will save it for tomorrow.
So what is this Docker compose?
Docker compose is all these steps will be run at one time by putting in a file which is referred as orchestration. Instead of running everything manually. So if you have tens and tens or 20s of steps, what can we do is we can put them into one file and put them in the order that we want and with the conditions and things like that.
Okay.
That's what Docker compose does.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys don't have any questions today, any questions, guys, before we wrap up? Let's say Aniket, Nitesh, Hamera, Shrishel. Everybody doing okay? Are you all catching an idea? Are you all catching the point? Quick yes, please. Okay, hopefully you're also getting a good feel of the containers and the Dockers and things like that, guys. So if you don't have any questions, we'll wrap up here for today. You guys stay safe and keep learning. We'll also continue with Ansible also tomorrow. Today, we lost a little bit of time in the debugging, but these are the kind of problems that we really face in real world days. So just a kind of, that should prepare you, hopefully, and things like that. Thank you. So
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Take care. Signing off for today. Stay safe and keep learning, guys. Signing off again. Thank you and bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.